Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
It is not only me.
Welcome to
It is
being
my
here.
wife as well.
Oh my goodness, we're having a good time today.
Yes, we are.
In case you are unaware, I am Ariel,
And I am Shya.
collectively the Canes.
And we actually listen to one another because we have discovered that if you actually listen, rather than see whether you agree or disagree with what's being said, you naturally get pulled into the current moment of your life, and that is where transformation takes place. How was that? That was good.
I love
Isn't
that.
good? I like that intro.
You know, additionally,
Yes.
I have been working with Shya since 1987. Figured out it's a while. And we talk about
Listening
and lots of subjects over and over. But for us, it's like the very first time. Now, we do finish each other's sentences. Sometimes we simul speak. So let's play.
Yeah.
Because if I'm really listening, it's not like, oh God.
Here we go again.
Oof, been there, done that. Really?
I don't have to listen to this part. I've heard it so many
I've heard
times.
it. Life gets exciting and new and fun, and every moment is unique.
Every moment counts. See, otherwise you're on vacation from your life and your life experience, waiting for the good things to show up, and they rarely, if ever, do.
Well, it's all
Unless it's all a good thing.
or good, bad. I don't know. I do know that life has got lots and lots of juice.
Zest.
For it. Mm-hmm.
Zest, you know?
Zest sounds good.
Zest, that sounds good.
Oh, I
Zest.
just suddenly smelled actually orange zest.
Yeah, that's what I was
It wasn't
creating.
lemon, it was orange for me. That was very good.
I didn't even know lemon. Okay, here we go.
You want to learn something newly?
Yes.
All right. Then let's listen to Colleen, our first guest.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Colleen, welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, I'm Colleen, and I am zooming in from New York City, Manhattan.
Welcome.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
With us today.
Oh, it's nice to be here. Great to be with you guys.
And we appreciate you taking part of your lunch hour to be with us. How cool is that? That's really, speaking of generous of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Because last week's episode was on generosity, being generous.
Nice. Well, I love this talk, but learning, what if learning something new was for a gift, for the first time. Because sometimes I forget, and especially like even in work situations or with my relationship with my husband, Jay, I don't look through that lens that everything can be new. And
well, I don't think anybody does, Colleen. You can either go, oh yeah, it can either be a confession or it can be like a celebration. Yeah, sometimes I forget that. Or it can be like, yeah, sometimes I forget that. And, it's like, hey, yeah.
that's cool.
And when you've forgotten it, all it means is you just a little ahead of yourself, behind yourself.
Your initial programming has been confession.
Yes, that's true.
So that sort of preempts your looking and seeing what your truth is. You automatically fall into that, oh, I've done it wrong.
Right.
And, oh, this is interesting. Look at that.
Yeah, look. Yeah.
That's interesting. It's not good. It's not bad. It's interesting that you did that or didn't do that.
Something that I find fun is when I watch a movie that I've seen before again. And sometimes there are things I really recall from a movie that I really like. But what's really fun is when I start seeing things that I didn't see the time before, or I hear it newly, or it's all new as opposed to, yep, there she goes, getting out of the car. There, yeah. So
or trying to finish the sentences of the lines that you know are coming.
I don't
that you think are coming.
Right.
ever remember them inaccurately. I've done that. Oh, my
Oh,
friend.
yeah.
Oh, wow. They didn't say what I thought they said.
Yeah, mostly it's inaccurate when I try to do that. You know, I spoke with you guys on the phone about work, and we were saying goodbye, and you said, have fun today. You know, it's like it's a new day, and you know, you're loved where you're at, because I really am by where I work. And I really heard you, and it was such an amazing day. It felt new. My coworkers felt new, and things that I had been complaining about, it wasn't there. And it was such a magical day.
Well, you see, it
Mm.
appears as though you're blaming us for your magical day rather than the one who's truly responsible for your magical day.
You mean she actually listened and heard it as a possibility and then turned her attention to that possibility and created this amazing day for herself?
Yeah, that.
Ah, yeah, it's true.
Because
That
we
was-
can say to somebody, hey, have fun today. It's a new day. And they'd be like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
We know that. I've heard that
And it's
before.
the first day of the rest of my life.
I know.
Platitude, platitude.
Is a platitude
Like a saying that's kind of like, I don't know the exact, but it's,
yeah. So it's like, yeah, got it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
So did you have a question for us, or did you just
I
want to bring your
just want to look
glowing
beautiful.
presents?
Oh, thank
We don't
you.
get to see you, so
But we do,
get
and you
to.
look beautiful.
You do.
Well, you answered my question. My question is, you know, it's always that more better kind of thing, where it's like, how can I create that more often with
Well,
myself?
you see, here's the thing. You don't need to create it more often. You just need to be here for your life, and you'll start to discover the magic that's here all the time when you're here. But when you're driving to get somewhere that you think is better than where you are, you're always in a state of dissatisfaction.
Mm. Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. You're saying, this isn't it. Something better is going to come along. Well, what if there is no better? What if better is up to you? What you bring to what you do creates better. How you go about each and everything you do as you are there in the doing of it creates satisfaction. It's not the outcome. It's it's not the it's every step of the journey.
Mm.
I'm getting a very funny image. It's a little bit like going to a party, and before you go to the party, you decide you're going to bring a dish. Everybody brings a dish.
Not this.
Yeah, it could be a hot dish if you're from Minnesota. And you make something that you love, that you think other people will love, and you put it in your prettiest bowl, and then you arrange it so it looks lovely, and you're very proud of it. When you put it on the table at the party, it's like, this is representing me, and here I am. And another is where you're invited to a party, you're like, oh God,
Well,
I
I'll
don't
go to
really want
Smilers
to, I don't really
and,
want to go.
and get something from the grocery
I'll get
store.
something, how about a little, I'll get a plastic thing of chopped.
Potato salad.
Yeah, there we go.
As Ariel says that, I remember when we were first dating, there was a workshop that I did that was called
All about men, or the men's something.
or other. And the only really great thing about that workshop, well, there are a few things, but what was really great was we were asked to prepare a dish fit for a king.
Oh,
or a queen, I guess, but that it was a men's group, you know. So
yeah.
I did, and
I
as
even
every
remember it.
yes, it was a shrimp.
Curry.
Yeah,
And oh, it was beautiful
and
over rice
I put it
and
in a beautiful bowl. You know, I
everything. And it was voted one of the top 10. And there were people who brought like Kentucky Fried Chicken, a
or
box of,
frankfurters.
like
You know,
it was like
how you go about anything is how you do everything. How you go about the smallest detail of what you're up to is representative of how you're going to go about a major project.
Hmm.
You know,
however, most of us don't look at things with awareness. We look at things with judgment. So anything you judge sticks around, grows stronger, dominates your life. So life shows up exactly as it does. Sometimes you're feeling very enthusiastic and or you're appreciative, for instance, of your colleagues, and other times you're not. Third principle, there's three. First, life shows up. Second
no,
principle.
second principle is life shows up exactly as it does.
And the first,
First is whatever you resist, you're stuck with. And third is anything you allow to be exactly as it is completes itself in the moment you see it. So it allows you to be.
so for instance,
That was
as
very
we're
profound.
as we're
That allows you to be. Get this. That's the very profound part.
Hmm.
so
Are you impressed?
I am very impressed.
You're duly impressed. That is very profound. That anything you allow to be allows you to be. Because anything you don't agree with, don't like, don't want, that becomes what you become. You become what you resist.
Okay.
If you allow things, then you can be you. If you resist things, then you are run by the things that you say no to.
Hmm.
And then you don't have a life. Everybody wants to be self-expressive. Everybody wants to, be their best them. But if you're resisting your parents, you are your parents.
Yeah.
you know,
And if you don't like them, well, that's
oof,
terrible. That's
life is
hellacious.
tough.
Having fun.
I am having fun.
So, uh,
It's the access way to
it
enlightenment.
is
Fun is the access way to enlightenment.
third principle, anything you see without judging, anything you notice, bring awareness to, completes itself in an instant. So there may be times where you notice, look, I didn't even notice I have coworkers, or I'm finding them irritating. You can then go, okay, I'm going to be nicer to them.
But that's not you being nice to them. That's giving you an instruction when you've given yourself instructions forever.
I have. Yes.
You don't normally follow through with those instructions. It's like New Year's resolutions. Oh, this year I will do my homework every day. It never happened.
Oh,
I may have started out trying to, but I didn't even get it done that day.
right.
We've been, Shine, I've been rather busy lately. We always have a very full life, but things have been quite busy. And as I just glanced over at Shia while he was speaking, I saw some things that are sitting out in the office that are incomplete. There's like a debris field where I started a project, got interrupted, didn't come back to it. So there's some things sitting around. And I can go, recognize it, let it go. It lets me go, but I also know that I'm going to complete that. I always do. It always gets done. I don't have to beat on myself to motivate myself to complete things or be a better me. And
Mm.
as you were talking about, I don't always, my this revelation of how much you enjoyed your colleagues and came with a side dish of I should do that more often
Yeah.
rather than wasn't that nice? I really experienced them today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing it more often is just a do.
Yes.
And if you're not there in that action, if you're lost in thought about the project you have to complete, then they don't feel your presence at all because you're not there. You have to bring you to your moment. That's all. So easy to get distracted by life and all the things you think you're supposed to get done to be a good person.
Oh, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's celebrate. Right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we've known
Yeah.
you for many years, but today was like the very first time.
Yes, it was.
It felt that way. Yes.
Nice.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great rest of your life.
Thanks.
You know, people say have a great rest of your day. Well, why make it so specifically short? How about have a great rest of your life?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight, where we hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life.
If you want to learn more about our seminars, any of the upcoming virtual courses, visit transformationmadeeasy.com.
That is transformation made easy, easy.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
Here's Christian from Munich speaking. And I love the podcast from Ariel and Shya. It doesn't matter for how long I listen to them, even it's like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, however, how long, it lights up my life. Thank you so much.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shya's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Are you receiving our newsletter? If not, you can sign up for it at our website. You'll get a video each month. We have multiple blogs, all sorts of great information. Let you know what's happening in the transformational community. We'd love to have you be a part of it if you aren't already. We have 2 Living Made Easy 2-hour seminars coming up this Saturday and then next Monday. Our weekend seminars, we have a virtual and then an in-person one happening.
The virtual is the power of listening, and that's March 2nd and 3rd.
Listening really is powerful.
Oh, it really is powerful. And then, in April, we're doing an in-person course in Hamburg, actually doing 2 courses.
Not
One-
Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
No, Hamburg, Germany.
Yes.
One is the Freedom to Breathe, that's April 18th. And then we're doing the Simplicity course, April 19th, 20th, and 21st.
Yeah.
Hamburg, Germany.
You are welcome.
Book your airline tickets and meet us there.
Unless you live in Hamburg, then you can.
And if you live somewhere else in Germany, you can drive.
There you go. All right. Should we take our next guest?
Let's take our next guest.
Miss Utah, where are you today and where are you zooming in from?
Hi there, this is Jutta and I'm zooming in from Hademstorf, which is a little village in Germany.
Nice.
Very good.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I love the title of this show for the very first time, and I had an idea today that it's really a moment to moment thing. Because I remembered when I listened, it felt like the very first time when I did stuff I did before, but I did it for the very first time, so I listened differently. And I also saw that sometimes I'm doing stuff, listening to people, and I'm thinking, I know this. Oh, come on, let's get over with. It's really, and I see the difference, and I'm struggling sometimes. Like I want to do it always like the very first time, because then it's easy and it's fun. And sometimes I just want to be the
Slow
cool
down.
adult.
Slow down. So you just made a rule that it's easier if it's for the very first time.
Yes.
You know, tying your shoes for the first time was not that easy. Fly fishing for the first time
Definitely not that
definitely
easy.
not that easy. But I think it's interesting that you have the idea that knowing it all or been there, done that is part of being a cool adult. Because I actually see that, no, I can do this. I know that mainly from children. You know, when they're 2 or 3 and they want to be a cool adult, they're like, no, I could do it, even though sometimes they can't. So I have a feeling the idea of wanting to be a cool adult was set in place really, really, really long time ago.
Yes. I'd say 15 years old was my age when I made that up, or even earlier, like 11.
Yes.
Yes, where we look up to people who are, you know, you're 10, you're looking up to the 11-year-old. Oh, I want to be that someday. Or,
Oh, yes.
you know, when my sisters went to school, I was like, oh, someday. And they're like first grader and third grader. So it's not like they were hugely sophisticated, but to me, they were.
Yeah, it was like when I saw those older friends or people around me who were older but still not grown up at all. I found them super cool, and I want to be like them. And they are so sophisticated, and they look so cool, and they do cool stuff. And I had another idea just now, that when I'm like that, I want to be cool. I want to know it all. I'm usually insecure.
Yes.
How secure of you to recognize that sometimes you're insecure.
You can be okay with your insecurity. Guess what? You're secure.
Yes.
The thing is this, everybody's trying to prove they're not insecure. But what if everybody's insecure? Even the most apparently secure people.
Yeah, and it's funny when I talk to friends and letting them know about situations where I've been insecure, they usually say, "Well, you to me you look very secure when you're doing that." And it's interesting, and also with other people, I've heard about so many people when they're telling about their insecurities, and I have the feeling they look so secure. It's
Well, you know, yeah, you're a lawyer.
yes.
You know, you think lawyers are secure,
They have the law in them.
except they're not.
No.
But the degree, you know, the certification as a lawyer gives them a sense of security, even though it's false when they're in that role. You know, because when you play a role, like you can be a very good teacher if you've got a textbook that has the lesson plan that you need to teach. But for most people, being themselves is an insecure place because there are no rules about how you're supposed to be. You know, the first law in the universe is there are no laws.
If we go back to the 3 principles that we were talking with Colleen about, the third of which is anything you allow to be exactly as it is completes itself, or ceases to own you. It lets you be. So when you say, oh, I felt insecure about this, if you are aware of it and you allow for it, and if your friends are saying, oh, that you didn't look insecure, I'm suspecting they mean I didn't get that from you and I didn't experience it. When
Yes.
you allow yourself to be the way you are, it really is a gift. It allows the people around you to relax into their insecurities, and then they're no longer insecure, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Absolutely. I've made that experience when I heard it from friends who looked very secure to me when they said, well, in that situation, I really was not, or I am not. It's I'm not alone. It's normal to be insecure. And I find it a great gift if people share their insecurities.
Well, that being said, though, you've said that word so many times, insecure, insecure, insecurities. I have to admit that I don't feel insecure all the time. There are moments where I will experience it, but in general, if our attention isn't on ourselves and how we're doing, we're not accessing that insecure part of ourselves.
This is a rather long way of getting there. But we've been watching a television show called Ted Lasso. And you're familiar with it. Good.
Yes, it's very much fun.
Show, there was a fellow whose name was Nate, and he was like the person in the locker room who took care of towels for the players because it was a soccer team and took care of the cleaning of their uniforms and everything else like that. And there is this one scene where he sees what's needed and wanted, and he's normally insecure, but in that moment, he gets very crisp, very clear about what play they should run, and they do it and they win. Then everybody else was trying to figure out what to do, but he saw it clearly. And in that moment, he was no longer insecure. Insecurity is when you turn your mind's headlamp on yourself and you're blinded by the light. So the light no longer is a useful tool looking out into the darkness. When you turn it on yourself, it blinds you to possibility. When you worry about you and whether or not you can, you cannot. When you're clear, when you look out, when you see what's needed, suddenly everything becomes easy because your attention falls off of you, because no two things can occupy you at the same time. You can either have your attention on you or on what's needed.
We were talking about it last week with Christine. She was talking about how sometimes when she's meeting somebody for the first time, she gets a little insecure. She doesn't know what to say. And we were talking to her about the difference between trying, I can't remember the term we used, but trying to look interesting or getting interested. And when you get interested in what's in front of you, what's around you, another person, insecurities fade. They're always there on tap. It's kind of like having a keg of beer and being an alcoholic. If you don't pull that tap, you're not going to have ever drink that beer. Yes.
The name of this show or this episode is For the Very First Time. And you could approach things for the very first time as then you don't know how to do it and you're insecure about it, or you can approach it like you have beginner's mind, where you're discovering what's wanted and needed and providing that. I've been making love to the same woman for over 40 years, and it's always new. But it's never the same. It's always like for the very first time.
But we were joking about it before we started recording this episode today, that in the early days, I was so tight in my body that when I orgasmed, Shya was never sure about it. He'd be like, "Did you just orgasm?" I'd be like, because I I was so tight. So in a way, when we're together, it is new. It's the very first time, and yet there's
But there's a little more
there's
self-expression
a lot
now.
more expansion than back then, even though I was evidently younger and had more hormones going. Now I've got more me going than I did back then. Yeah.
I love that. That's really, really beautiful. Yes.
Mm.
What a nice idea. I love it.
Mm. Lovely to be with you today.
Thank you. You too.
It was
Ah,
nice meeting your boyfriend the other day.
I'm sorry.
It was nice meeting your boyfriend.
Thank you. I loved having him there and he really enjoyed it. It was
great.
really neat. I was so happy because he's really doing when I suggest things, he's just jumping on it and saying, okay, why not? Like,
Good.
That's sweet. I think it's lovely that you invite him to something like our seminars that mean a lot to you, and he means a lot to you. And there has to be that potential for insecurity that we might not like him, not going to happen. He might not like us, who knows? And that, that you still extend yourself. That is so lovely. It takes courage and generosity, and it's appreciated.
thank you.
Mm.
I so much enjoyed it.
That's great. You can invite your friends to listen to this podcast. You can come to a seminar. You can invite your friends to join you. We've had people who've taken our books, and they've done it as part of their book club, and then they've showed up for a seminar altogether. There are lots of ways to participate in our transformational approach, and they've actually invited us to come and speak to their book clubs too. So, if you want to partake of more, we're here for you. But one way or another, we really, really appreciate that you are a listener and that you listened today. You can find out more about other things that we're doing, of course, and sign up for our newsletter at
transformationmadeeasy.com.
Next week's episode is about taking care without being careful. Full of cares and worries and all that. All right, we'll be back next week.
So come on back.
And don't miss
Being here.